a break from grinding, working on a fire pot for my forge. Not much has changed, but you know, in the shop I do have all the brick work done on the sides. I've still got a lot to do. Let me show you what I'm doing here on this forge real quick. I've had several people ask what in the world I'm doing, how I'm building this. Alright, you'll notice I built a steel table basically that sits inside the forge itself. As you'll see, it's below the top of the block. The reason I did that is I'm taking these bricks and we'll lay down mortar on this piece of steel and lay my bricks to this height. That way I'll have a brick hearth and it'll look like the old style masonry forges. And right here I have a hole cut out for my fire pot. And basically what I'm going to do is my bricks are going to come up, you know, right to the edge of this hole here, like so. And then what I'll do is once I build the fire pot, it's going to have a lip on it, and that lip will sit right here on top of these bricks. So that's basically how this is going to work. So I still have a little bit of brickwork left to do. Right now I'm working on the fire pot. Got a lot of pieces cut today. Dad did that for me. But I've got a lot of grinding to do. I've already gone through 2 grinding wheels. And it's some really hard steel. I don't know what kind of... It's not stainless. I did find that out. I thought it was, but it isn't. I don't think it's mild because it is really tough to grind. I've never seen anything like it. But anyways, that's how I'm going to do the forge, by doing that. And then what I'm going to, so you see like these holes here on the top of the blocks. So what I'm going to quote unquote cap that off is along the edges. Use my hat real quick. You can see it's kind of the same way. So you get it right there. So when I put these bricks on here, I have a whole brick, half brick, whole brick, you know, just stagger back and forth and you'll cap it. And then right here where my fire pot, in front of the fire pot, I'm not going to have these bricks, that way I can get my steel out. The steel will lay level with the fire pot. And what I'll do to cap this off is I have a piece of steel, plate steel, sitting over in the steel rack that'll go across here. And I'll do that on both sides. That way if I have a really long piece of metal I need to heat up, or a friend comes over and you know we do some forging together, or I'm teaching somebody how to forge, then I can put my other anvil on the other side of the forge and have basically 2 workspaces. So that's how that's pretty much going to work. There's where I'm doing all that grinding. And then, I don't know if I mentioned it on my other last blog post, but I got a few too many bricks. I got them all stacked up from over there to here. And that row of bricks there are 2 bricks deep. So, it's a lot of extra bricks. And then here is an adapter I made. This adapter goes onto my electric blower, and it has a 4-inch opening on it. So I took this plate, cut it a little bit bigger than the hole on the blower, and then I cut a hole through here and I welded this piece of round 3-inch pipe, which is what I use underneath the forge. So just made that real quick yesterday. Show you real quick. A little bit more close up of the fire pot. Now I'm basically building a it's going to be a 10 by 12 fire pot. This piece of grinding, it's still warm, still. And the way I'm doing this, it's still pretty warm. So as you can see here, I'm beveling the edge of it on, trying to get it at a 45. It's kind of hard to guess. But anyways, these pieces, here's the 10-inch piece. They're going to sit pretty much like this. And then I'll have a bottom piece, and I got the other 2 pieces down here. Got a little bit of grinding, you know, for some adjustments I have to make on it. But it's pretty close. The measurements were really, really close. And, I don't think it was the measurements that were off when I measured it out on the steel. I just think it was from cutting it with the cutting torch instead of a plasma cutter, because it's not, you know, as accurate as a plasma cutter is really accurate. And then a big old piece of pipe there is what I got today over at the metal yard. It's got some chromes. It's 4.5 inches wide, and this is what we'll use to on the underside the fire pot for the air intake and ash dump. It's big enough that I can cut a hole in the side for the air intake to come in, and I got to weld a ash dump on the bottom. So I've got a lot of welding to do now that the welder is finally hooked up. We had to take to the shop. 2 days ago, I think it was. It wasn't, the wire would come out. It would come out a little bit, then stop, and it would come out a lot. It was just really, really rough. So we changed the liner in it and had the front end of the gun mechanism. This whole front assembly on the inside, down in here, was all melted together. Like there's a plastic. This washer here is rubber instead of plastic. The old one was plastic, and it melted onto this and this, and we just couldn't get it off. But it works great now. So I'm really glad to have my welder back hooked up. Although, you know, Dad, he hooked it up. He's not too crazy about electricity. And I don't blame him, but I was over here on this end of the shop working when I heard him holler, and he had accidentally touched the panel box and got shocked pretty good. He's okay now, but the rest of the day he was kind of like an Energizer, but he just kept working a lot faster. And then at the end of the day he was worn out. But I've got a lot, you know, like I said, I got a lot of welding to do. I got to weld this together, this fire pot, fabricate, you know, the ash dump for that, for the forge, which is no big deal. Then I'm got to fabricate a forge head for the forge, and I'll show you a drawing real quick. So I got. Hold on a second, I had a drawing. There it is. So I'm trying to see. This is pretty much what I'm trying to make right here. It's made out of steel. Mine's going to be around 48 inches tall, you know, same as this one. And then on the drawing it calls for 32, but mine's going to be, I think I measured it's going to be like 36. Also, what I'm going to do, it's really hard to hold this paper and see what I'm doing, is this opening for the smoke to come into. And we'll make it pretty good size. I'm going to make it 14-inch square, maybe a 14 by 16. But it's going to be, I'm going to have like a door that goes in front of it that can slide up and down. And the way I'll control that is I'm going to put a bolt above there and have a lever out here. It'll come out here so I can adjust it from, from my workspace. So that was kind of an idea I had. I think, it won't be too much harder to add that lever on there. Here's all the steel I got for it. I'm pretty much walking on it right now. See down there, that's all the steel that I got for it. And then there's some more pieces over there for it. And then after I get all that welded together and forge all done, I still have to fabricate what's called a forecart for the horses to pull. And basically what a forecart is a two-wheel cart that the two horses can pull, and it'll have like a seat on it, and I can pull different kind of implements. They normally wouldn't hook up to the horse like I can hook up a regular utility trailer, or I want to try and make an attachment to where you can lift a 3-point hitch equipment, like a plow, I have a riding plow, or a hay rake, or anything you think of. Use cultivator, corn planter. So that's going to be the next fun project to do. But right now I'm just focusing on getting this forge done, the blacksmith and welding shop up and running, so I can start advertising my business and get some money going. That's not why I've abandoned right now the homestead project back in the back part of the farm, is because of the funds. I haven't had a shop for over 5 months now, and funds are starting to deplete a little bit, so I want to start, getting some income in, and then I'll start back on that project. So, anyways, since I've got all that to do, I am going to go in, eat lunch, and while I come back out here working, I'm going to let this video play. So, see y'all later.